Here's some more jargon for you. OAuth phishing. That is the newest hack, the latest hack that's happening. Today's episode goes into OAuth phishing, what it is, how it works, and how you can protect yourself from it, and what to do if you think you've been compromised. Stay tuned for more.
Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder.
Rise and shine. It's your dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 758. It is Firewall Friday. I still have a bit of a cold, so I might be wheezing my way through this. And we're going to be talking about OAuth phishing. OAuth, O-A-U-T-H, OAuth phishing. Now, before we even get into what OAuth phishing is, I really think we should understand what OAuth is, because that's the crux of the matter. OAuth stands for Open Authorization, and that is the system that is behind signing with Microsoft, signing with Google, signing with Zoho, signing with LinkedIn, signing with GitHub, signing with blah. They all use this Open Authorization system, and basically what it does is when you go there, it says, can this application have access to information on your account? And you tick the buttons and say yes. I'm sure you've all been through it, where you've gone somewhere and it's popped up a screen, you tick the buttons and you're looking at it going, I don't even know if I really want to give it that permissions, but it seems to need it to be able to do what it does. I'll tick it and press go. So yeah, a great example of that is connecting a scheduling app to Microsoft 365. Microsoft asks whether that app can have access to your calendar. If you approve it, Microsoft is going to give that app permission to use your calendar. It doesn't reveal your Microsoft password. It's all sort of a zero trust environment, if you like. You go somewhere, you log in somewhere, it says, can this application have access? Yes, and that seemed how my hairs ago, that all connects in, and it just happens automatically. It's wonderful. Now, the problem with OAuth, well, no, it's not a problem. The wonderful thing about OAuth is that anyone can create an OAuth application. I've created one for an application that I wrote for my own bookkeeping system, where I create these really pretty reports to send to I think they're really pretty, reports to send to my clients. And I had to do that outside of my bookkeeping package. So it sits somewhere else. And then I realized that, that might be accessible to by other people. I really need to put some authentication on this so that only authorized people can access it. So I've used the OAuth functionality to say, you log in with your username and password. I don't care what it is. I don't need to see it. You just need to log in with it. My application says, no, that username and password doesn't have, or that username doesn't have access to this application, stops it right there. But if that username does, it then says, well, do you consent to giving access to this? Yes, I do, and moves me forward. So I can really control who has access to my app without having to worry about my own authentication systems, managing passwords and usernames. It's all done for me by another system, and I'm just piggybacking on it. So it's a wonderful thing because we can use it ourselves. Unfortunately, that also means that hackers can do the same thing. A hacker can create an application that appears legitimate. They'll register that application with Microsoft or Google, and they'll give it a believable name. They configure it to ask for access to your email, files, calendars, or contacts. And if you approve the request, their app can access the information you've allowed. That's how OAuth works in general. Unfortunately, hackers are taking advantage of that. They will send you a message, an email message, or a text message, or a WhatsApp or DM message, DM, not DM message, DM, to give you a believable reason to connect to their app. It might come from Microsoft. It might look like it comes to you from Microsoft or your IT provider, a colleague, a client, or a supplier. It may claim that you need to connect a security tool, reconnect an existing service, open a shared file, or enable an integration. And it comes from someone that you go, oh, they want me to do this. It looks legitimate. It looks like it's coming from the right people. I'm going to go and authorize this app. So the message creates the context that makes the unfamiliar application appear necessary. And the link begins that genuine process of authentication, open authentication, using that system. Okay, just to give you a real life example that I saw very recently of this, someone was saying that their account was getting hacked and they couldn't work out why. They hadn't shared their password, hadn't shared their username. What they had done was someone said, oh, you need this app to read these files that we're sending you. Authorize this app and you'll be able to read the files. Now, they thought they were actually talking to a supplier. They authorized that app. That app gave them access to their account, and Bob's your uncle, off they go. So the process is basically someone says, hey, we need you to authorize that we have access to do this, or you need to use this app to do this thing. So, oh, okay, cool. Click on the button. You go across to Microsoft or Google or Zoho or LinkedIn or GitHub. They're the ones that I know that do OAuth. I think LinkedIn does go OAuth. I know that GitHub does. I know that the other three do. You log in with your real username and password. You use your own multi-factor authentication, because at that point you are literally logging into your own account. Then the permission screen pops up and says, can this application have access to these files? And yes, I'm repeating what I've just said, but I'm going through that process again. Can this application have access to your email? Can it have access to your files, calendar, or contacts? Now, because the website looked legitimate, because the login and the MFA are absolutely genuine, you may assume that the application is genuine. By clicking allow, what you're doing is you're giving the attackers, the hackers application, access to everything listed on that permission screen. They haven't bypassed your security at all. What they've done is used a legitimate process to hide an illegitimate thing, an illegitimate app. They don't need to know your password. They don't need to defeat your MFA. They just receive the token that says it can access the approved information whenever and however they want. You can change your password, you can reset your MFA, but that's not removing the application's permission. So just remember that as we go through this. Okay, so let's talk about some of the attacks we've seen on this, just so that we know that it is legitimate. I'm not just making this up. Recent attacks. Evil tokens launched in February 2026 as a ready-made OAuth phishing kit. Within 5 weeks, that kit had compromised 340 organizations across 5 countries. Victims used the genuine Microsoft.com/device login page. They completed their MFA and handed over access to mailboxes, OneDrive, calendars, and contacts. There was the 2025 Sales Loft drift breach. One compromised OAuth token affected more than 700 downstream Salesforce tenants. Horrifying stuff. Okay, 700 downstream Salesforce tenants. It means that someone compromised something up here, which then gave them access to a whole heap of information underneath it. 700 accounts, basically. 700 people underneath that one login got affected by it. So this is really, really serious stuff, and it's why I wanted to do this episode. So here's what I think you need to be thinking about as you go forward. You need to be cautious. When an application asks for access you did not deliberately seek out. If someone sends you a message and says, just install this and it'll all be right, make sure you know who it is asking you to do that. Make sure you understand the permissions that it's asking you to give it. Make sure you understand why they need you to do this thing. If none of that is clear to you, I would stop right there. Appear contrary if you must. Appear honorary if you must. If that's what it takes. But be that person that says, no, I'm a little paranoid. I need you to explain this to me a little bit more further. When that permission screen appears after following a link in an email or message, stop. Read it. Check it. Go and check with someone else if you're unsure, but don't just willy-nilly say, yep, I approve this and you can have access. The other thing to do is check the application name and every permission it is requesting. So do read that permission screen, look at what the application name is at the top. As I said, the application name can look really legitimate, so you really do need to be careful. Now, if you didn't independently choose and initiate the connection, if someone's come to you and said, or a message has arrived saying, please click on this link and allow us permission, stop. Don't approve it. Get it checked out. If by any chance you have granted access to something that you aren't sure of, or you think might be a hacker, rest assured you can save yourself. You can resolve these issues. You can review your Google applications, who has access to your Google account. And I've done this on any number of podcasts. myaccount.google.com/permissions. Log in there, log into your account, have a look at what's got access to your account, delete what doesn't make sense, revoke permissions that don't make sense. If something breaks because you've revoked a permission, so what? You can always reauthorize it. For Microsoft, you can do the same thing. Go to myapps.microsoft.com. Like I said, revoke anything you don't recognize or did not install yourself. If you've just installed a suspicious application, the other thing you should do is change your password and go into your myaccount.google.com/permissions and myapps.microsoft.com and revoke any active logins that you've got. Yes, that means you're going to have to log back in on the phone and on your tablet and on your computer. And yes, it's going to be a pain, but it's also going to stop anyone else who's got access to your account having that access. So revoke all the active sessions. Get rid of them. The other thing I want you to remember, even though, I sit here and I've done podcasts about it saying, enable your multi-factor authentication, use multi-factor authentication. Don't just rely on your password. Just remember that a password or a multi-factor authentication reset alone doesn't remove the access the application has been granted, because that's been done through a different process, and you need to go through those steps I just mentioned to revoke it directly. All right, guys, it's not a doom and gloom episode. It feels sometimes like that's all these episodes is a doom and gloom episodes. This one I thought was pretty. As a geek, I thought it was pretty nifty seeing how systems get used to compromise other systems. It's not great. It's not fantastic, but you can protect yourselves. You do need to be very vigilant. And I say it all the time, go and review your accounts regularly. See what's got access. See what you don't recognize. If you don't recognize it, get rid of it. Do reviews. Be vigilant. Be careful. Ask for help if you're not sure. I'd love to know what you're thinking about all of this. Leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this episode. If it was useful, interesting, whatever. I'd really appreciate a like for the episode. Maybe share it with a friend. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And as always, I'm a tech wrangler. I'm here to help you guys with this sort of stuff. If you need help with your tech, particularly the online stuff, reach out, askcharlyleetham.com. You can book a free 30-minute breakthrough session with me by pressing the bright pink button in the top right-hand corner. If you've already used your free session and you still want to work with me, that's fantastic. Please do reach out. I have any number of ways we can work together, and I will work out with you the best way, the way that is most beneficial for both of us. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to go and find some lozenges and hot honey and lemon and all the stuff that goes with that with colds, and I will see you on Monday for Mindset Monday. Have a great and safe weekend.
Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.